Baby, we were not ready for the shit that we saw today. At least I wasn't. I don't know about you, but I wasn't prepared. I wasn't looking for it. I was like, what the fuck? I am your girl, Talisa Rae. What's up? How you doing? Ray of Sunshines. We are reviewing Claws, season number 2, episode number 5, Vaginolgist. If it's your first time visiting my channel, what up, though? Go ahead, click that red subscribe button so that you can be a ray of sunshine, and everybody's clicking that notification bell so we're alerted of the videos we upload going forward. So listen, as hot as I am, that's as hot as this episode was. They had so much shit going on. At one point, I was like, it's too many, it's too much, it's too conflicting. Oh my God, too many storylines going on right now, but I need to stay with it, and I'm so glad that I did, because baby, let's get right into it. I really thought that this whole episode would be about Dr. Ken and Arlene, but wasn't I molded. So when the scene opens up, they are at the grand opening of one of the first of the 4 new clinics that they're opening up, or first of the 10, however many more, but the first one. Everybody's excited and they look nice. Okay, Zlata's clothes would be super cute if it wasn't in excess. It's almost too much, always too much shit, too much jewelry, but then she's rushing and she's over the top. But I'm living for Desna's whole little outfit with that big Gucci belt, honey. She is walking and living in luxury, head held high like she's part of the upper echelon. I'm all like, well then, all right, Desna, I see you. Well, Zlata gives her the ability to, you know, cut the ribbon or whatever, but that's not important. We see Uncle Daddy talking to Bryce, and he is like writhing with hatred, vengeance, and vindictiveness, and just really wanting the control back and upset. He even talks about Desna. Well, guess what? Let's just add insult to injury, because up rides Roller in a brand new 2-door red Maserati with black leather seats. Honey, looking like all kinds of luxury, and it is for Desna. Zlata has gifted Desna the Maserati for doing such a wonderful job. But when she gets in the car, honey, she's loving it, feeling it all the way through and through. And Roller is all like, aren't these gifts your man should be buying you? She's all like, just be happy for me. He says, I think you're moving too fast. He constantly drops hints to her all the time, but she is so in love that she's missing all these hints that he's throwing at her. And of course, you know, at first I might have thought it was a little hatred, a little haterade, but he was really concerned about her well-being, as we see as we continue to watch the episode. But then there's Ken, right? They show us him in the precinct with Arlene and her counterpart, her partner. And they tell him, we need you to tell us who the big people are. And he's holding his own really well at first. He's all like, no, I'm not going to say nothing. You know, she's all like, it is now an investigation with the state of Miami collaborating with the FBI. So these are serious charges, and you could end up with RICO case and end up with 30 years in prison. But he's still not budging, because he's all like, everything's on the up and up. All, you know, they tell him what one of the patients has said, and he's still like, yeah, whatever. But then the patient walks by. All of a sudden his tune changes, because he's like, well, why does she get to leave? And they hit him with, well, she's working with us, meaning she's an informant. We put her on you. Sorry, boo-boo, you missed it. How would you know, right? You're not looking for that from the old lady. Nevertheless, he says, I'll tell you whatever you want to know. It is the Russians that are the people in charge. Honey gets to singing like a canary. They now want him to wear a wire, but he doesn't have any connection with the Russians. And they like, you know what, you need to figure it out. And you need to figure it out quickly. So pretty much we don't see a whole lot of that. Now, I was really expecting to see a lot of that start to play out. We see a little bit of Marnie and Polly. And Polly is really doing her best to be a good mom and pull Marnie in. But Marnie is not for it. She's all like, bye. No, I'm going to have breakfast before I go to, you know, school. Like, she don't want nothing to do with her. But we see that the entire episode. Desna, honey, sachets into the nail shop. Everybody's looking like, whoa, where you get that car from? She explains it. Then she has some roses. And, you know, she feeling a little heat from the girls. You know, they seeming a little chilly, like she said. You know, they seem got a little envy going on. And rightfully so. You got fucking Polly, whose family is falling apart. You got fucking Jen, whose husband don't want her no more. You got fucking... what's her face? Quiet Ann, who just got back with Arlene. So, I mean, yeah, they got a little envy, little jealousy all up through there. And it's okay because they still love her. So, because she comes in there with that new car, the ladies are like, are you going to tell Zlata about their plan? Zlata walks into the shop. They're chatting it up about whatever, and you're loving the red car or whatever. And there is Desna spilling the beans. Because I'm going to just be honest with you. I probably would have said something too. Like, why should she be loyal to Uncle Daddy? Because she was fucking Roller? Because Bryce is her husband's best friend? They did not take care of her the way Zlata did in this particular moment. They did not take care of her, you know, give her bonuses and cars and houses. They treated her like an errand girl. So why wouldn't she be loyal to her? You know what I'm saying? Like, in your mind, things are going well. Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I want her to figure it out? And so she says, because being the peacemaker that she is, the go-between, she's all like, let's have a sit down so that we all can get an understanding. Zlata agrees and says, I won't do anything. I promise I won't do anything. Okay? Well, all along, Uncle Daddy is like, let me meet up with Dr. Ruval. Dr. Ruval is really a gangster. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. That type of act, like, he's well-dressed. He's on the higher up. He handles business. I still do got a thing for men that have, you know, hustler backgrounds, and that would be the kind of guy that I would probably fall for. Nonetheless, Uncle Daddy's like, I'm ready to move now. She opened up a clinic. I'm ready to go get this Russian bitch out of here. Dr. Ruval is all like, no, we're going to wait. I didn't say that. And if you don't want to go with the plan, then he taps on the window and his goon comes out with 2 guns. He was like, so I guess we going with my plan. At this point, you can see Uncle Daddy is not like in the best of places. We see Desna doing her thing like she always does. There's some issues at the new clinic. The new doctor, Dr. Stephanie, her friend got picked up. She's scared. Desna calms her down and says, listen, I'm not going to jail, so you're not going to jail. I got your back. Let me also just throw in there that Jen is still trying. Jen is still trying and tries to talk to Roller, asked about Bryce, and he's all like, let it go. You guys aren't the same people that you were before. And I mean, it's devastating. Can you imagine trying to get back with your spouse and he's all like, no, and you trying? I can imagine that. I'm sure you can relate to what she's saying in some form or fashion. But we also see that Polly meets Ken's mother for the first time. Where Polly's got stuff going on, you know, the whole event at that evening at the strip club, the Raining Men event. And also, she's got issues with Marnie because Marnie can't be there, but Ken calls and she comes right away, and she comes with who? Her new boyfriend, Malik. Threw everybody for a loop in that house, especially Polly. She wasn't aware. You know, Marnie's like, I don't tell you everything. I mean, that's that typical white person household. Like, I'm sorry. Just let's be honest, because you ain't going to be talking to me like that. Nonetheless, they sit at the dinner table, and Polly is very desperate for Marnie to want to be around her, to like her, to be like her, to look like her, to dress like her, to act like her, to take on her value system and her belief. And so everything Marnie is doing is throwing her off. And then she goes and starts rapping at the table. Child, and when Polly started yelling, fight the power, I almost died. I said, this girl is a mess, but I absolutely love, 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 love me some Polly. Ken's mother talks to Polly on the side and says to her, What's going on with you that you want her to be so much like you? They talk about the twin sister a little bit. It irritates Polly to no end, where she gets up and she leaves. And that's when they have that whole little conversation. And it's a heart-to-heart. Like, somebody needed to say it. Like, you are masking and being all these other people, and you're hiding something. There's some shit that you need to address. And then she makes mention that her twin sister is an executive for Starbucks up in Seattle. So, again, what happened between her and her sister that her sister wants nothing to do with her? What happened? I know they're going to tell us. Because, you know how they like to mix shit up. They're going to tell us. And hopefully in the next couple episodes, we're going to find out what Polly's real truth is. We know some of it about the identity theft, but we don't know all of it, especially when they threw in that twin sister. So Uncle Daddy, this is pivotal. Uncle Daddy and Toby are at a bar. Looks like a very prestigious white male dominant bar. And Toby's in his BDSM clothes, you know, his submissive dominatrix, whatever you want to call it, his clothes, and him and Uncle Daddy are having drinks, and Uncle Daddy is loving all on him, and they kissing and shit. Well, the whole bar is looking disgusted by the antics between the two of them. Y'all act like y'all ain't never seen some shit that y'all done had y'all nose turned up about. And so when I'm looking at them, I know that those people, that's how people would probably in real life respond to that behavior. Nonetheless, Uncle Daddy sees Auntie Mommy. I can't think of what her stage name was, but sees her, how she died, bloody and all tattered, and she gives him the pep talk of his life. Like the old Uncle Daddy I knew would have took these dudes out already. Like, really gives him what he needs, and honey, he turns that bar the fuck out. You understand me? So much so that he fought everybody in the bar, hurt them very much so badly, but they all square, so they probably couldn't hold their own nonetheless. He decides at that point, fuck the Haitian. I'm going to take her down myself. We ain't going to wait no more. Uncle Daddy feels like I'm back. I'm in control. I need to get my life back. Yeah. I mean, I was all like, all this stuff happening. I was like, shit. We see a little, you know, brother-sister, twin brother-sister conversation going on between Dean and Desna. And, you know, Dean's all like, you promised me my own bathroom, but they're sharing a bathroom. But they moved up. You know, they did a whole little pep talk thing before the strip club event. He also lets her know that Virginia and I had invited Dr. Ruval to come to the strip club to see me perform. Also, what we saw this episode is that Roller has really fallen in love with that baby. You see the pictures of him in the phone when he was at the nail shop getting his eyebrows threaded. And more importantly, when Uncle Daddy was trying to call him after he made the decision that they were going to go to the club and kill the Russians that night, he wanted to inform him, but he would not answer because he was taking care of his sick baby with his mail order bride. As Zlata would say, y'all, it's so hot in my house. If you see me fanning and sweating, it's because I'm hot. So another pivotal moment that's going to probably come back up is the fact that we saw Bryce serve Jen the papers. He's actually really done. And she, again, does what you would do when you love somebody, to plead with him. And he's all like, you don't love me now. You love the old me. You don't love this me. You love the old me. We different people now. And it looks like she finally resigned to go ahead and take the paper so she could sign it so they both could move on with their life. But you can see the devastation in her spirit. So here we go. The turn of events gets real good right here. So Dr. Greg and Desna are riding down the highway, head to the beach. He tells her take off her shoes, honey, and he gives this proposal on the beach with the sunset, honey. And it looks magical. It moves her. She says yes. They get on their knees. They cry. Like, I'm totally moved by this scene. I'm glad that they did it because, you know, that they were showing that he was actually wanting to marry her. I was excited. I was like, oh, good for you, Desna, sort of, kind of. But you're going to get your feelings hurt. You're going to get your heart broken, baby. Because he is not who you think he is. So they finally arrive at the strip club, and she shows her little ring. All the ladies are excited for her. You also see that Arlene is there, and she takes part in the excitement for her. And Desna also says to Arlene and Quiet Ann, it's nice to see the two of you together again. You look happy. So now it's time for Dean to perform. Virginia makes mention that she gave him a little quickie because he comes out. They all come out and he runs back inside. See, Desna had been saying the entire time that maybe quite possibly this is going to be too much with the loud noises and the noise. I mean, the big crowd, all that stimulation might be too much for him since he's on the autistic spectrum. She felt like it might be a bit too much for him. So when he runs back to go back, she's giving, I'm going to go back there. And Virginia's like, no, hold on. You're going to have to let him figure it out. So Virginia might just be exactly what Dean needs. Because we do know Desna coddles Dean because he's on the spectrum. Rightfully so. It's just been the two of them, and she's always taking care of him. But I like that Virginia was like, no, he can do it. Let him handle it. And that is what he did. He was going to wear his earphones and all that. But, honey, when he came out after a little pep talk from Polly, honey, and he came out, this seemed crazy. But if you follow me on Twitter, I told y'all I had tears in my eyes for how well Dean had done on that stage. I was like, look at them thighs. Why I cannot think of the actor's name in real life. I was like, does he have a sock in his pants, or is that really all of him? Because I was like, baby, woo! Somebody come get him. He dancing like a stripper. He fucked that shit up. I was feeling it all in my spirit. We see that Uncle Daddy is trying to roll out, and Roller is still not answering because he is being a dad, calling the doctor, making sure the baby's fever is not too high, doing the things that you do as a father, as a real father. I think he really is taking on that role very well. I said that already. We see Zlata come over and congratulate Dr. Greg and Desna, and it's like this is an impromptu engagement party, and 30 bottles of whatever is on the house, and then you see Polly has to go. She has to go take care of Ken, who's throwing up profusely because he's now a witness for the fucking police, okay? Then you see Arlene and Quiet Ann leave because they're getting hot and heavy in the van, and she's all like, take me home. Now, Arlene, I think she genuinely does want to be with Quiet Ann, so how is that going to play out when Quiet Ann finds out she's back in the police department? Like, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I really still think she's kind of playing her. So the only people left, Dr. Greg actually leaves, takes a phone call. He leaves. That's what prompts Quiet Ann and Arlene to go. Then, as Dean and Virginia leave, enters Uncle Daddy with the bottle of good scotch that Auntie Mommy said you're going to need that for celebration later. Take it with you. Honey, baby. He walks in. He tells the Russian at the door that you may want to come in for this. You got Zlata on the stage singing in her Russian accent. All by myself. Like, what the fuck is happening? Looks normal. Fucking Desna and Jen are laughing at her like you do as besties. Like, this bitch is up here singing a solo on the fucking stage. Like, what the fuck is really going on? And all of a sudden, the shit hits the fan. Uncle Daddy begins to shoot everybody. They start coming out the woodworks, shooting people in the head, hitting them with knives, all kind of shit, y'all. Y'all was there. Y'all saw it. But Zlata, her team is out there. It's full-on war. Russians versus the Dixie Mafia, all in the strip club. But her ass is still on the stage singing all by myself. I was like, this bitch is crazy as fuck. Like, batshit crazy. Because everybody else is on the ground running. Desna, Jen, everybody has run, okay? And honey, he shoots somebody, one of her lieutenants next to her, you know, the head bodyguard guy. The gun gets in her hand, and next thing you know, she shoots all of them with the infrared light. Pow, 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 pow. Everybody dies, and guess what? Y'all seen it. Y'all was there. She shot Bryce's ass dead smack in the chest. I was like, oh my God, he's dead. You got Jen over there screaming, ah, like, Girl, I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready for Bryce to get shot. They run him to the emergency room. She is concerned about him, rightfully so. She goes in there because she's all like, do you think he would want me there? Bitch, go take your ass in there. You still love him. That's still your husband. Go handle your business. You didn't sign no papers or none of that shit. Go on in there with your husband, okay? You what he need right now. Honey, so then Desna decides she's in her mind thinking it's her fault that this shit happened. That Zlata had promised to have a sit down. Well, it's not really Zlata's fault, especially since Uncle Daddy is the one that came in the fucking strip club popping off. She would have probably had a sit down with him, but you come in here popping off, I got to be ready. You didn't told me he ain't gonna do what we think he gonna do, because you talking about at the golf course. He a dirty nigga. So she like, I need to be prepared, and she was prepared, rightfully so. But she was the one to take everybody down. So when Desna gets to the fucking mansion at Zlata's house. She knocks on the door. Nobody answers the door. So she walks in and she hears voices. But whose voice does she hear? A very familiar one, if I must say so myself. She hears Dr. Greg, honey, baby. And she kind of taken it back like, why the fuck he here? What the fuck is his voice doing in here? And she gets ready to turn that corner and she sees the two of them sitting on the couch all cuddled up. Zlata's got her hair down with this loose t-shirt on because we know that she always has her hair pinned back and she always all dressed up and shit. Casual, and they laughing and giggling and shit. And Dr. Gregory starts telling Zlata about the wedding. I mean, the proposal that he did on the beach, baby. Talking about I was on my knee in the sunset, and she was all into it. It was beautiful. She really thinks I love her. I was too fucking through. Okay, Desna motherfucking Niecy Nash is one hell of an actress because that bitch started crying on cue, held her mouth like you would. And you know, in my mind, like a woman would, we would think that you would just bust on in there. No, she did the right thing by not going in there because they would have killed her motherfucking ass right then and there because now you didn't see too much. Because they in there laughing and clowning because Desna loves him. He proposed to her. She's all in, and it's a joke to them. And they playing her. That's how she feels when she sees it. And baby, honey, Zlata gets down on her knees and gives him a BJ. I swear I thought he said ouch at first, like she might have been using her teeth or some shit. But that's the most sneaky shit. Now, here's my question to you, because we at the end. That was it. That shit blew my mind, okay? The part that blew my mind the most was Bryce getting shot like he did and fucking Zlata and Dr. Greg. Now, here's my questions for you, because I don't have no predictions. I don't know. Y'all can go watch Jimmy Pink. She be coming up with some good predictions. But listen, is Zlata just fucking with Dr. Greg to prove to Desna that he ain't shit? Or is Dr. Greg fucking with Zlata to get close to her so that they could take down her empire? Or are they really fucking with one another? Y'all let me know, because that shit looked real cozy. That shit looked real fucking cozy, real friendly, real like everything was good. I want to know what you think. Let me ask you one more time. Was Zlata faking so that she can prove to Desna he ain't shit? Or was Dr. Greg faking so that he can get close to her so they could take down the empire? Or was this real? Y'all, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. Were you ready? Tell me what you thought about this entire episode. Honey, I was here for it. That's why this shit is 20-something minutes long. I am your girl, Talisa Rae. Thank you so much for watching my review of Pause. Season number 2, episode number 5, Vaginologist. Hugs and kisses and lots of love. I'll see you on the next video.